Hey, so I just hit 250 on my shade on Reboot, and I wanted to make a video with my thoughts on the class and basically where I trained and my gear and just stuff like that. Basically an overview of my time with shade. So yeah, my gear is pretty stronger than usual for my 250s. I went 12 star / 10 star in most items. I went 17 on a couple though. The belt, my weapon, my CRA, and my earring, I all went 17 star on, just because I needed the extra power to one shot in my training. I went 2-line attack on my WSE, and I got mostly just 2-line strength on the potential rolls, unique or legendary. I got pretty lucky on some of my accessory rolls. I got double drop here and hybrid here with strength as well, which is pretty good. My flames, nothing really special, honestly. Kind of bad flames, didn't work too hard on them, but they're okay. And yeah. So in total, this character has 100 drop, or 100 meso and 80 drop. And I would have rolled this for drop as well, but I got 27 strength, so I figured I might as well just keep it. Help me one shot. And I already had enough drop. This I got kind of late into the character, so I didn't really bother leveling it up, especially since it's just level 30. But yeah. I also forgot to mention one thing, so I'll just throw it in here. The node stones I got, this is from 200 all the way to 250. These are all the node stones I looted, 1835. And droplets, 182. I noticed that there's about, for every 10 node stones, you can expect 1 droplet after the buff. And so yeah, I just thought that would be kind of interesting information to see how many node stones and droplets you would get from 200 to 250. It's a pretty decent amount, honestly. I thought it would be lower, but yeah. So my nodes, this is the only boost node you really need as a shade, if you're just using it for training. If you're using it for mobbing, you would also want to include Spirit Frenzy and Spirit Incarnation on another boost node, and I don't think the 6th skill really matters. But yeah, this is the tri node you want. I also got this one with Soul Split on it just because I could not find another perfect tri node. I opened a lot of nodes on this character and couldn't find what I wanted. But Bomb Punch and Fox Spirits are really the only two you need to train. Spirit Claw is just for bossing. And even with True Spirit Claw, you do use that for training, but it's going to one-shot no matter what. It's just a really strong skill. It's important that you max Spirit Flow. It's a really good skill. Obviously max HS. Spirit Gate. So as you max this skill, the cooldown goes down. And I left it around here, around 104 second cooldown, because you could use this as a loot timer with 120 seconds, but I prefer a little bit of a shorter loot timer. So I left it at 104 cooldown seconds, and I would loot whenever I use this. So this is kind of my loot timer. It's also just a summon that kills. You don't really need levels on it for it to be strong. It's gonna kill no matter what. Use loaded dice. This doesn't matter for mobbing. This is a strong bossing skill though. This is good for mobbing. Level doesn't really matter. And then I used Sharp Eyes Speed Infusion. Using Speed Infusion, it's kind of important because Shade's attack speed is very specific for the method of training that I use. So I'll let you know my attack speed boosters right now. I have nothing here. This is the only attack speed increase that I use. I also don't use Spirit Bond Max while I'm training because this increases your attack speed. I could have used Spirit Bond Max and not used Speed Infusion, but I didn't want to loot the livers. But if you need to use Spirit Bond Max to one-shot, do not use Speed Infusion with it. And I'll tell you why later. In total, this character cost around 30 bill to make, with the gear and all. And yeah. So, when I was talking about attack speed earlier, basically, the way I have my shade set up is I have Jump on A, Flash Jump on S, and Bomb Punch on D, which is the main mobbing skill. This makes it so when you go press ASD, you do a flash jump and a bomb punch. And you can continue to press ASD, ASD, ASD to continually bomb punch like this on a flat surface, where normally you'd have to use an arrow key to animation cancel your bomb punch like this. But this way is a lot lazier, and it lets you get the upswing of bomb punch into your rotation, which is pretty good. It's actually more vertical than the first hit of bomb punch. So for training, I really highly recommend switching your keybinds to ASD for jump, flash jump, and bomb punch. I also put backstep on shift. Backstep's pretty good in a lot of rotations / maps, so have that somewhere convenient as well. And these don't have to be on ASD, they could be anywhere, but I would put them in a row, and whatever's comfortable to you, basically. So we'll go into maps now. I went below the cave. You go Eastern Cave Path 2. A lot of these cave maps are good. You're only going to be here for a little while, but it is very, very, very simple. You just put this down, and you just do the ASD bomb punch, teleport back, go down. If you have True Spirit Claw at this point, you can use it there. ASD bomb punch. It's literally every map. It's going to be like this. Next map, T-Boy's Research Train. I went to T-Boy's Research Train 1. ASD back and forth. I use Spirit Claw here to reach that top platform. So whenever that's off cooldown, which is going to be around every 8 seconds, you can use Spirit Claw there for that. If you want to make your rotation a little bit more sweaty, you can use backstep at the edges here to get you back towards the middle. So that's basically it for here. And you can see I still don't have the perfect timing on this Spirit Claw. A lot of the time I'll find myself just using a regular one. Next map, Biddy Bobble 1. Wait, that's Dealy Bopper. Whoops. Biddy Bobble 1. This is another ASD back and forth. You can reach the top with your bomb punch. This middle platform is kind of annoying. Oh, let's put down our totem. You can also use True Spirit Claw on either side. And in the first couple maps, I wasn't really paying too much attention to looting. But whenever you want to loot, just put down your Spirit Gate. Go up here, loot. Loot here. And then you can just keep on going. And this Spirit Gate will kill. On cooldown, you should be using Spirit Flow, because it is just a great skill. Sometimes you get the Spirit Incantation. When you get the Spirit Incantation, it is, I mean, it feels great, because it's, it just covers the entire area almost. And it has really good damage, even if you haven't noted Spirit Incantation like I haven't. But, yeah. Spirit Flow is an amazing skill, and it's really important that you get it to as high a level as you can, because that just gives it longer uptime. And the more uptime you have on this skill, the better your rates are going to be. So, next we will go to Hidden Iliad. If I can get this AFK mob off me. At 215. Where is it? All these maps I went to basically as soon as they were available. So VJ at 200, this map at 215, Choo Choo at 210, and the Research Train at 205. So this map's great. The only issue with this map is these two side platforms, which you can use True Spirit Claw to reach. Another note about these two side platforms, you could put your Kishin on one. If your Kishin does like an okay amount of damage, assuming you're using a Kish Mule, I would sometimes put my Kishin on one of these plats to maybe help kill it, to help the spawn in the center more. But you should be fine just Spirit Clawing one or two sides whenever it's off cooldown. And again, here, whenever you want to loot, just put down this. I generally put it on like whatever side I start my rotation. and then just loot through. And of course, use Spirit Flow on cooldown as well. Let me get this flower, and then we'll go on to the next map, which is, oh, Juniper Seed Oil. Nice. Ref Place 3. This is a really good map. I might not be able to find a map, actually. Okay, nice. That took a while, but, oops, I just put that down by accident. Ignore that. Put down our totem. Rev 3. You know what, I might as well use the attack speed thing. So, Rev 3, more of the same. Just ASDing through the map. And on this little house here, you can use your True Spirit Claw to reach the top little bits of those platforms that you can't reach normally. Whenever I want to loot, guessed it, you just put down Spirit Gate, and you go pick everything up. Again, use Spirit Flow just on cooldown as often as you can, because it is a great skill. It helps a lot on this map as well. Even without Spirit Flow, though, you really shouldn't have too much trouble clearing the map on spawn, or on mob respawn. So, once I got to 225, maybe a little, I think I stayed here a little bit. I stayed here maybe up to like 228, even 230. This is a really good map. But eventually, in the low 230s / high 220s, I went to Earth Spirits. And Earth Spirits are quite good. Apparently there's someone here as well. Alright. Earth Spirits are great. Left to right with ASD, bomb punching. And to reach those top 2 mobs, sometimes your Fox Spirits will reach them. But sometimes you'll also have to cast True Spirit Claw to reach them as well. But another really good map. Now, none of these maps have been, I mean, they've been lazy enough. It's a pretty lazy rotation, but this next map is honestly a big reason of why I enjoyed training this class so much. This deepest part of the cavern upper path. Now, this map is, you're going to be spending the most time here because, well, I did at least, because I didn't move on past Arcana since my character wasn't strong enough to go to Asphera or Celis or anything. But this map is honestly super great. So basically what you're going to want to do is you start your rotation, Spirit Claw there, Bomb Punch, and then immediately when you land in the water, you press Backstep and you'll slide right off this platform here. And you can just start bomb punching again. You have to time your jumps a little bit so you don't fall in the water, but it's not that difficult to do. And the highlight of this rotation is that you only have to face one direction. There's no, you don't have to turn around, and because if you're going over areas like turning around, you're basically attacking areas where you just killed, and there's not likely to be any mobs there. So with a rotation like this, your mob kill rate's really high, and it is super good XP. And Mesa rate as well. I was getting like around 550, maybe even 600 sometimes mil per hour on just a wealth acquisition potion. So yeah, really, really good for everything. When you want to loot, put down this, and just go loot like this. And with, actually, let me set my dice. Don't forget to set your dice, obviously. With Speed Infusion, it just goes like this. Now, the reason I was talking about attack speed earlier, it's best to showcase it in this map. And actually, we have a Rune of Swiftness, which is perfect. So, this is a very smooth, I'm not having to press any buttons to cancel my bomb punch or anything. But once I take this Rune of Swiftness, let's see what happens. I'm doing exactly the same thing as what I was doing before, but you can see that I'm getting stuck when I hit the ground. And the reason for this is that my attack speed is too fast, so the bomb punch is completing too quickly. So now I'm having to, if I want it to be a smooth experience like before, I'm having to cancel my bomb punch with an arrow key, which I don't really want to do because that takes way too much effort. So whenever I get a Rune of Swiftness, I just go through a portal, so it cancels. But you can see that the bomb punch, since it's reaching, I believe, the third or fourth punch, you can't immediately jump out of it. You have to, there's a little bit of delay when you hit the ground. So that's why whenever I get a rune like this, I'll show you. Once I leave and rejoin, the rune effect will be gone. Let's do that. Totem back. And we're back to just easily farming. I'm actually doing this with one hand since you don't need to press arrow keys or anything. So it's super laid back farming. Just ASD, ASD, and shift to backstep off of here. But yeah, this is also the reason that I wouldn't recommend going over like just one extra attack speed stage, so decent speed infusion. I wouldn't use it together with Spirit Bond Max. Just because it doesn't always happen, since the attack speed isn't as high as a Rune of Swiftness. But it does definitely happen where you'll get stuck on the ground sometimes. And it's actually happening quite a bit here. So yeah, since my attack speed is too high, this ASD rotation is not really working. So that's why I would only use one or the other and not both. And not green pot either. Not when you're training. It is just bad. But yeah, this map is super, super good for training. And it is the last map that I personally trained in. If I was going to keep training, I would probably go to MTS3 in Asphera. I can actually go there. Let me turn this off in case someone's in there. There is someone here. But yeah, you can see my Arcane Force is not good enough for this map. But basically, just a bomb punch. Maybe come up here and use a True Spirit Claw. Let me put this down. But yeah, I am definitely not strong enough for this map. And this map is also kind of sweaty, because you have to do more than the bare minimum. But I would probably do kind of a circle like this. Since the map isn't really, yeah, you can't hit all the plats on the map from the ground, unfortunately. But this is probably where I would have went if I went past Arcana. I would also, I didn't do the pre-quest, but Star Swallowing Sea 1 is also a map that I would definitely look into for further training on this class. But yeah, that is basically where I trained on my Shade. Now, the only thing left to talk about is my tier list placement for Shade. So, basically, this tier list is just based on my overall enjoyment of the character. That's the only thing it's based on. It's cross mobbing and bossing. Just my personal enjoyment. So, don't be too upset if your favorite character is low, and don't be too confused if a character you hate is high. But, for Shade, some things I really liked about it were it's easy, it is super relaxing training, and it's really hard to die in bosses with skills like Spirit Ward, and they have a built-in door. Their mobility is insane. They just have a lot of tools that can help you survive in bosses. They're great for solo or party bossing. They have a self-bind, which is basically, it says 210 seconds, but since you can reset all your cooldowns with Spirit Flow, it's basically a 120-second cooldown, which is the boss's internal bind timer, so you can't get better than that, basically. So yeah, really, really good. I really, really enjoyed this class. Overall, just for bossing and mobbing. It's super fun, and yeah, it's a great class. Now, a couple things that I did have a problem with. The class is a really low base crit rate, so it is quite difficult to get that crit rate up. You need to use, like, I needed personally to use a lot of link skills like Phantom and stuff like that. and I had a lot of crit rate in my Legion board. But yeah, low base crit rate. Not having an up jump is a little annoying. It's nothing I can't live without. I mean, I main Kaiser and they don't have an up jump. It's fine, but having an up jump is definitely nice, and they don't have one. Another issue, and this one doesn't really matter if you're gonna put a lot of like time and resources into the class, but it's really hard to roll their tri-nodes. I used so many nodes on this character, and I only got one of the perfect tri-nodes that I wanted. So, yeah, the tri-nodes are pretty rough. Last problem I had with this class is Bomb Punch. It's a pretty low % damage skill. It has 300% times 3 on its base attack, which is not that much. I had to put a decent amount of funding in this character to get him to one-shot with Bomb Punch. But yeah, taking all those pros and cons into consideration, I would place Shade in S tier. Pretty easily in S tier. He is super fun, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun playing him. He's like the gold standard for my 250s basically. It was a great time playing Shade. I am going to be training Zero next, and that will be going on for probably a couple months, and then I'll be done. After that, though, I'm having a poll right now for the next 250 character I should train after Zero, so you can vote on that, probably in the description if you want. That's everything, I think. Peace.